Welcome to Charter Local Edition. I'm Tracy Young. Our guest is the Executive Director of the United Nations Association Pasadena Foothill Chapter, Sherry Simpson Dean. She joins us to talk about the year-and-a-half-long effort of local students to collect books and supplies for students in Nigeria and how you can help make this dream come true. Good to have you with us.
Oh, thank you so much, Tracy.
For someone who might not be familiar, we say the United Nations, a lot of people certainly know who that organization is, but who and what is the United Nations Association?
Yes, thank you. Well, for over 60 years, the United Nations Association has existed in cities across the country. So there are chapters like ours in many cities around our country and actually around the world. We are the grassroots local field organization of the UN, and our mission is to educate and empower and inspire, and as well as mobilize Americans to be engaged with issues of global concern.
So something basically by doing what we do locally, we can have an impact on a global basis?
Absolutely, and so we really exist to answer the question when we look at some of the world's most challenging issues, how can we make a difference here, there, and as well in our own communities?
Interesting. All right.
Thank you.
All right. I want to ask you about this project. I'm going to call it Global Friends Program. Tell me what this program is.
Okay. Well, Tracy, I'm really here with a sense of urgency, and I first and foremost want to thank CNN for allowing me to be here today. Your audience is seeing me, but I'm actually here representing students from across Los Angeles, primarily in the Pasadena area, who have worked, as you said, for a year and a half to collect textbooks that are being repurposed, school supplies, chalk, pencils, in fact, even some sports supplies that will be going to have been collected and are now going to be shipped to Nigeria to be used by 15 schools in rural Nigeria. And the urgency today is that we thought it would take forever to fill this 40-foot container. It's filled to capacity, ready to be shipped to the children of Nigeria. But we really have a need for the funds to ship it. So the very simple couple of dollars actually separate these children from the books and completing this program. So it's actually $4,500, which isn't a whole lot, but we desperately need to get the books there, and the students have waited for quite some time, and these books can transform their world as they know it.
So speak in simple terms here.
Yes.
You're talking about books, and you're talking about paper and pencils, and you said a chalkboard, the most rudimentary things that we find in our educational institutions here in the United States and in many developed parts of the world. Why Nigeria?
Our board member, and again the United Nations Association, Mabel Obi, hails from this particular region of Nigeria, and on a trip back home, she's a primary teacher here, so she has a great appreciation for education. She visited the community she grew up in and was shocked to find no chairs, tables, pencils, paper, blackboards, and she just said, we don't have to have this. We can do this as a community, and in fact our community has come together. The materials are now there to actually fill those little classrooms. In fact, they're many dirt rooms, but they are classrooms. They're ready to be filled. We have space that's been provided in Nigeria for libraries, and hundreds of textbooks are ready to go to reach these children who are very eager and waiting at this point.
How much do these children generally appreciate these things?
Well, Mabel Obi said, to reach out and touch a book is a first for many of these children. So whereas for us we could find a book in almost any room in America or at least nearby, these children are excited to be able to touch books, to open them, to be able to read them. Again, it's giving them hope for the future. So
you filled this container. The students have done all this work collecting these goods.
Exactly.
And all you need is $4,500 for this container to get on a ship and actually make it to the students.
That's all we need. And I think that the urgency, as I said, it is education, which is really for, as the UN puts it, peace, security, the future, and we're ready to go. So, so thank you. We hope the audience may find some way to help us.
I'm sure we have a kind, generous person out there in the audience somewhere. Congratulations on the work with the UN, and it's great to have you with us.
Thank you very much, Tracy.
For Charter Local Edition, I'm Tracy Young. Now back to CNN Headline News.
(1981). The first cases of acquired immune deficiency syndrome are documented in the United States. 1990. After years of fighting to go to school, AIDS spokesperson Ryan White dies at the age of 18. 2001. A special session of the United Nations recognizes AIDS as a global epidemic. 2008. The UN reports 33 million people around the world are living with HIV. AIDS has had a heartbreaking history. Help us make sure it doesn't have a future.